Friends, this edition of the TV46 High School Football Game of the Week is being brought to you by HealthLink, your community health center. 21-14, North Judson has the lead as we go downstairs for a Bills Heating sideline report. Charlie, I saw you talking to Brett Lambert at the third quarter break. What do you have to say about adjustments?
Well, Chuck, when he brought the team out before they ran on the field, he stopped them, and then he started screaming, "Finish, finish, finish," as all the players ran by. He said finish about 7 times, and then I talked to him. He said it wasn't perfect, but he loved the intensity. He said LaVille was bringing it. He said in the second half, adjustments they have to make, they have to pick up the blitzers better as LaVille is bringing the inside backer. But he seemed pretty pleased, and he said to his team, second half, let's show them who the stronger team is. So he's lighting that fire in them, knowing they'll need it here for the second half, Chuck.
Well, Charlie, just to build on that point, and Bo, I'll bring this up to you. One of the things Brett Lambert pointed out to me at practice this week is the fact that LaVille has a lot of players going both ways. North Judson doesn't have nearly as many. He thinks he can wear them down in the second half.
Yeah, and I think that's very plausible that can happen in the second half, is really get worn down. The good thing on this night is it's a very chilly night tonight for this type of late in the season. A few weeks ago it was in the 80s, but you're not going to get as tired with the heat not being there, but it's definitely something to look forward to.
Betcher's U.S. Truck and Trailer sponsors the LaVille kickoff by Brandon Nettrower. Cheyenne Allen, the deep man for North Judson. Our third quarter brought to us by Swihart Motors begins with a squib kick taken by one of the up men at the 25-yard line. And going laterally to the 30, and now past the 30 to the 35 on the return. And that looks like it was Trey McGowan that time. On the return for North Judson.
As I finished up my pregame meal here at halftime, the 1056 Brewing is a proud sponsor of the Young Athletics. They have outstanding burgers, pizza, and craft beverages, and a great family-friendly environment. 1056 is deeply rooted in the community. Bring the family or team down for a great experience. Really like to send a big thank you to Erica for driving the food all the way here for the crew. Is delicious, and just finished mine at halftime.
Yeah, she's a sweetheart. We appreciate the 1056 crew. Handoff up the middle on the opening play of the third quarter, and there's only about 2 yards to be had there. Jonathan Neese, a sophomore, is playing a whale of a game at linebacker tonight. He came into this game with 29 tackles. He's had his name called 4 or 5 times already tonight.
Great young men. Have the pleasure of actually taking him snow skiing a few times with my son, and they went to middle school together, of course. Great wrestler as well. Really standout wrestler.
So from the 22, 2nd and 8. And again, they give it to the fullback, Benson. And Benson takes it out for a pickup of 3. Brock Benson tonight, 10 carries, 25 yards. He really adds a new dimension to this offense. He gives a nice counterbalance to Cheyenne Allen.
I mean, they're both very physical running backs, but I believe he's just got a little bit more bulk with the Benson and just driving it up the middle and just getting that north to south and just running over players.
Had 197 yards and 2 touchdowns last week in their win over Triton. Judson looking at a 3rd and 6. Harper wants to throw, pop pass again. Gabe Ellis, beautiful diving trumped, and did he get it? Yes, he did. First down. It's sponsored by the Redlow Group. Pickup of 8 on the play.
A lot better covered here in the second half by LaVille. Just a little bit lower throw where the defenders couldn't pick it up, though.
Watch this bullet, a dart that Harper throws. And he put it the only place that Ellis could get it. Xavier Lefebvre was right there on the coverage.
Yeah, there's no other place to put that ball for him to catch it except for that spot right where he threw it.
So 1st and 10 from the 48. And here's a pitch sweep. Gabe Ellis on the carry. Shifty feet, and then A.J. Bidock says, that's enough of that, and it's a pickup of 4.
Almost looked like they were going to that halfback pass there again. And for a second, it just reminded me of that play. It'll be interesting if they go back to that play later in the game.
Ellis had 68 yards rushing in their win over Culver this year. He's a member of the track team at North Judson. 2nd down, we'll call it 7 from the LaVille 49. Harper from the I formation. And this is the younger Benson brother, And he'll take it to the outside for a pickup of 2. So you're getting Bensons all over the place. Not the only one we don't have here is George. Connor Benson on the carry that time.
The St. Joe County Public Library are proud supporters of LaVille High School. St. Joe County Library would like to wish all the student athletes and coaches the best of luck in tonight's game.
3rd and 4 now for North Judson. Opening possession of this, the 3rd quarter. Harper confidently brings them up to the line of scrimmage. And Harper keeps it himself and had nowhere to go. He was grabbed by the shirt collar that time as Garrett Wagner, the 255-pound senior, gets his 4th tackle for loss this season.
You can see just the pressure that this Lancer defense puts on the line coming up. And it looks like they're going to actually punt the ball here in this situation.
Quentin Frazier is the punter for North Judson. But Aldrich Harper is the up man, so keep an eye on the possibility of a fake. Owen Smith, the deep man for LaVille. Frazier's 2nd punt of the night, sponsored by Bailey's Discount Center. It's a short kick. It'll hit off Smith. He has to recover it inside the 10, and that's where he'll be stopped. 8:08 to go, 3rd quarter. North Judson hangs on to a 21-14 lead. LaVille will get the ball when we come back. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you in part by TCU. Discover better banking at TCU. Spot the ball back at the 8 for the LaVille Lancers. So they've got a hole to climb out of here with Lucas Plummer at the quarterback.
Well, they got a hole, but they're very lucky they didn't turn that ball over in that last punt.
It's Paul DeWitt on the carry. Keeps the feet moving and picks up about 3 on the play. Good stick that time by Jonathan Conover, a wrestler for North Judson.
Tyler's Heating and Cooling is proud to support Lancer Athletics. Tyler's Heating and Cooling is veteran-owned and is rated A+ by the Better Business Bureau. To schedule an appointment, call today or visit tylersheatingandcooling.com.
DeWitt, 10 carries, 43 yards. 2nd and 7. LaVille continues to shift coverages, really loading up that left side, so you figured DeWitt was going that way, but so did North Judson, and Quentin Frazier slings him down behind the line of scrimmage. For Frazier, that's his 19th tackle for loss this season. You'll get another look from Redlow Realty.
Back to the 10-yard line. 3rd down and 8.
Sometimes I think when you line up in a formation like that, and yes, you're saying, okay, well, we can overpower you, but you also kind of take away any mystery of what's going on.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, you're just going to try to line up and just go right at each other in that situation. It's man on man, and sometimes you got to, the linebackers are able to step up and fill the holes before you get there, and then you have nowhere to go in that situation.
3rd and 8 from the 10. Plummer hands it off on the jet sweep to Owen Smith. Smith trying to use his speed, just didn't have enough of it. Josiah McDaniel chases him down after a pickup of 1, and LaVille will have to punt away from in its own end zone.
The Redlow Group is proud to support Blue Jays Athletics. Redlow is a group of local real estate experts that help you buy and sell homes in your area. Visit redlowgroup.com.
Lucas Plummer is the punter. He was a junior all-state kicker a year ago. And he stands at his own goal line. Floating snap. Plummer, a good kick. And it'll be fielded at the 44 by Gabe Ellis. Ellis to the outside. Ellis with a nice return all the way down to about the 27, and a flag comes in late on the play, and we'll see what the flag is all about.
Looks like we had a late block in the back by the Blue Jays on that play. Shame, it was a great run on the outside, great pickup. Would have had great field position. Don't have the official call yet. Here we go.
So Rick Podell with that block of the back signal. The first one called against North Judson tonight. Perhaps we'll pick it up on the Redlow replay as Ellis did a really good job.
That one's not the one there. It's actually one downfield right in this area right here is where you can't quite see it. I was pointing as actually you guys can see it and showing Chuck. But, yeah, just a little behind the play. One of those where it doesn't make any sense to make that block because it's behind the play. It doesn't help anything. Don't even attempt to make that block.
You just cost your team 10 yards, and it's 1st and 10 from the 38. Benson, the lone setback behind Harper. Ellis in motion. Harper wants to throw. Heaving it down the field, and it is incomplete. Oh, it just went off the fingertips of Cheyenne Allen. That would have been a marvelous catch had he been able to hang on to this one. You get another look on the Redlow replay realty.
He just outreaches. Plummer just isn't able to hold on that ball. That ball thrown right on the money. They talk about if it touches your hands, you got to be able to come up with the catch. Just a little bit out of Cheyenne Allen's reach.
He is such a competitor, too. I know he's going to be lamenting that one after the game. Comes from a very athletic family. He said they're competitive when they play cards. I said, what's the card game at the Allen house? He said, Rook. He said, who's the best? He said, Dad or Pawpaw. Here's a pitch out and a run for about 10 yards that time by Benson. Actually, it's only about a 7-yard pickup. Benson now with 11 carries for 32 yards tonight.
Lane Leeper and Associates congratulates the Lancers on a great season so far. Keep up the great work. If you want financial security for yourself or business, learn more at Lane Leeper and Associates on Facebook.
Big 3rd and 3 here for both teams. Harper and the Jays trying to convert something here on their second possession of the 3rd quarter. They've chewed up clock, but they haven't been able to get some points on the board here in the 3rd. Harper hands it off to the tail of the tandem. That's Cheyenne Allen. No, that's Benson. No, it is Allen, number 40, excuse me. And Allen, who lined up at tailback that time, plows forward for a first down sponsored by Redlow Group.
Allen, number 40, Benson, 48. It's hard to tell a difference with just that one little line from up here in the booth.
Gold numbers on white jerseys, not my friend. 30 yards carrying the ball for Allen tonight. Here's another handoff, and Allen barrels his way forward for 4 yards that time before he's submarined by the LaVille defense.
Great pickup on that last play of a first down. Those first downs sponsored by the Redlow Group. Also, the North Judson St. Pierre Veterinary Clinic salutes the Blue Jays on a great season so far. Keep up the great work. For all your animals, big and small, the North Judson St. Pierre Veterinary Clinic is here to help.
Brett Lambert really working the clock here in the 3rd quarter as well.
Keeping it on the ground, running some clock. Well, and you're able to do that when you're picking up first downs. That's the biggest thing. You got to be able to sustain those drives.
Picking up first downs and the beneficiary of good field position. Here's Harper pitching out, and Gabe Ellis looked like he was going to pull up for the pass, but instead, Ross Wagner brings him down. Ross, another 3-sport athlete here at LaVille, and that's a loss of about 4 on the play.
Not sure if he was actually going to throw that pass because there was linemen that were way downfield in that play. He might have just tried to do that to juke the defenders and get them to go up in the air so he could actually pick up some yards.
So now North Judson looking at a 3rd and 7. Harper tonight, 3 of 5 throwing the football for 68 yards.
Again, they get in these situations, watch that veer pass across the middle, see if LaVille brings the pressure and opens that up.
Allen, the tail of the tandem, tries to get to the outside. Cheyenne Allen with a burst of speed. And he's brought down by Owen Smith at the 14-yard line. It'll be 4th and 4 from there.
Great open field tackle by Smith on that play, just taking Allen one-on-one, taking him low, taking out of his legs. Just a great job of wrapping up and not giving up the big play.
So Rick Podell letting his officiating crew now. It's 4th down. We'll call it 4th and 5 from the 14. LaVille fans down below making noise. Harper from the pistol. Wants to throw, has a man open outside. It's tipped away by Wagner and incomplete. Ross Wagner got his hand on the pass and knocked it away.
Able to get his fingertip just on the ball. If he does not get that finger on that ball, that is a 6-point touchdown.
So 1st and 10 for the 14 for LaVille. Lancers have not had really good field position here in the third quarter. We'll see what they can do from here.
Wapple Grain and Herbs supports the Blue Jays all the way. The Wapple girls would like to give a special shout out to their 2 favorite players, 89 Logan Ratke and number 5 Josiah McDaniel.
Here's a handoff up the middle, and Noah Richart gets some breathing room for this offense with an 8-yard carry. That's Richart's first carry since the fumble he had in the second quarter.
A lot of times you'll see a lot of scoring from 2 teams that are very close and very similar in the first half, and then you come to the second half and it's a much more balanced. Adjustments have been made at halftime and you start to figure each other out.
The wind is calmed here in Lakeville, but they'll keep it on the ground. And a good surge forward that time by that LaVille offensive line gets Richard a first down, sponsored by sponsored by Tyler's Heating and Cooling.
Goodwill's military stand down is coming to Plymouth Veterans. Join Goodwill October 14th at the Plymouth Columbus Club from 3 to 6 p.m. Register today at 574-977-8050.
1st and 10 from its own 27 and an official's timeout. We want to salute a member of our TV46 crew, very special to us. He's been with us for all 33 years. And today he turned ancient. 60 years old. His wife Paula texted me today, said, "Are you doing anything for Dean's birthday?" We got him a piece of rainbow cake because we like to think of him as a leprechaun. And the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. So there's Dean. If you think, well, that man's constantly in motion, that's because he is. Paul DeWitt on the carry here for a LaVille first down, up to the 39-yard line. But tell you what, I can't imagine doing these games without Korsma.
No, I can't imagine doing them, not hearing him in my ear and talking about what needs to be going on. Just a great guy, and it's been around.
I can dream about not hearing him in my ear, that's for sure. That's a 4-yard pickup that time for DeWitt, and it takes it up to the 58-yard line.
Swihart Motors in the past salutes the Lancers on a great year so far. Keep up the hard work. Swihart Motors has carried clean, dependable vehicles since 1998. See their inventory at SwihartMotorsLaPaz.com.
What I meant to say is it takes it up to 58 yards on the night for DeWitt. It's the 44-yard line. I don't think even Canadian football has the 58. 2nd and 5. Clock winding down, final seconds of the third quarter. It's Plummer trying to get the outside, makes a nice cut, lowers a shoulder into the defender. And Plummer able to pick up 3. Looked like it was Cole Wilcox that time on the hip.
AM Home Services salute the Lancers on a great start to this season. Good luck tonight and the remainder of the season. AM Home Services is your local roofing, gutters, siding, windows, doors, and waterproofing specialist. Call amnow.com.
Plummer put that shoulder into the defender, and now he comes off the field with a sore shoulder. And so LaVille will have to turn to its backup quarterback to try to get the job done here. But Will Hostrasser is going to let time expire here in the third quarter, and he'll have a little more time to prepare for what's going on in the fourth. The emotions running high. The Hoosier North Conference title on the line between these two undefeated teams. North Judson leads LaVille 21-14, and let's all go to the fourth on 46. And this edition of the TV46 High School Football Game of the Week being brought to you in part by the electrical workers of Local 153, making our communities brighter since 1914. The Bills Heating Sideline Report. Charlie Adams down on the sidelines, and you've got a special guest.
One of the greatest Blue Jay athletes, Lily Frazier, scored over 2,300 points, 1,000 rebounds, over 500 steals, and almost 500 assists. Went to Indiana Wesleyan freshman year, Crossroads League Freshman of the Year. Welcome, Lily. What do you think of this game?
Oh, it's a close one. It's a really great game to watch.
Yes. And do you have any relatives out there?
Oh, yeah. I have Quentin Frazier playing, and then a bunch of friends that I went to high school with also. Yep.
So tell me about your freshman year at Indiana Wesleyan and what you expect to sophomores of the team.
Yeah, freshman year went great. A great basketball season, great academics. It went really well, better than I expected. And then going into sophomore year, we're starting to go into the season, and everything's looking great. And I'm just very excited for what this year has to come. So.
What can you tell people about the Blue Jay way, the history of athletic success? You were a part of it, part of the volleyball team that won state in 2018, and basketball, you made it to semi-state your senior year.
Yeah, so growing up in this community, just throughout all my years of playing sports, being in school, this community just brings a ton of support for all the athletes, student athletes, and just, as always, just backing them up. And yeah, it's just a great atmosphere to be in.
Good luck to IWU this year. Thank you, Lily.
Thank you.
All right, Chuck and Bo, back to you, one of the all-time great girls basketball players in our area.
All right, Charlie, thank you. Colin Sarnecki has come in at quarterback to start the fourth quarter for LaVille after the injury to Lucas Plummer. Plummer's sitting on the bench down at about the 50-yard line. So Sarnecki, talented 6'2 sophomore, has been given the ball to Paul DeWitt, but here's a flag and a false start on LaVille, and that'll cost him 5.
Yeah, you get a new quarterback in there. Usually a lot of times that snap count's just a little bit different. Colin's one of those guys, he's only a sophomore, but he was the starting 7th grade quarterback, starting 8th grade year as quarterback, starting as a freshman on the JV team. So he's used to being in this position and understands what it takes to fulfill the role, and it's also got in there before in some other times.
And he's a remarkable athlete. He's all conference in basketball and baseball, starting cornerback on this team, but quarterback a little bit different, especially when you're going against the number 3 team in the state with the conference title on the line. There's Plummer over on the sidelines. Trainers have been keeping an eye on him. And Will Hostrasser is going to take a timeout here. It's sponsored by Goodwill's XL Center.
St. Peter Lutheran Church and School are proud supporters of North Judson Athletics. Go Blue Jays. Join us for worship on Sunday mornings at 9 a.m. and on Wednesday evenings at 6:30 p.m. We'd also like to thank Betcher's U.S. Truck and Trailer. They're proud supporters of LaVille football, players and coaching staff. Bring your truck or trailer by Betcher's for top-notch maintenance and repair. And if you need a tow or roadside service, give Betcher's a call.
Goodwill Industries of Michiana sponsors our factoids, and it's been a terrific 2 years for the LaVille Lancers. They have the 3rd best record in Michiana over that time, trailing only Tippecanoe Valley and New Prairie. And speaking of trailing, New Prairie was trailing Penn in that big NIC conference showdown tonight, 14-0. There you see Brett Lambert over on the other sideline trying to get his team sole possession of the Hoosier North Conference tonight. Some other finals from around the area tonight. Mishawaka had its hands full with Concord, but won at 15-11 over in Dunlap.
Tough one over there. Concord always has great defense.
Fairfield leads Lakeland late, 28-14. That would be a solid win for Matt Thacker's ball club. And Penn has now raised the margin to 21-0 on New Prairie in the NIC.
Looks like LaVille's going to have to do this with Zarnecki the rest of the way.
And Zarnecki is going to air it out there for Owen Smith, and it went right off his fingertips.
3rd one in this game, 2 by North Judson and 1 by LaVille. Going in the same direction. Must be something down here. They're looking up at the stars or the sky or something, just not able to hold on to those long, deep passes.
But you mentioned they'll have to go the rest of the way with Zarnecki. Well, if he throws balls like that, there's no problem with it because that was right on the money.
LaVille High School Athletic Department is proud to support the LaVille football players and coaching staff and want to wish the team the best of luck tonight and as they continue on throughout the season. Go Lancers!
3rd and 12. Handoff goes to Noah Richard. He's able to only get about 4 on the play. Quentin Frazier and Sam Holland will help him up. But it's 4th down in a punting situation. And now with Plummer out, they've got to go to the backup punter again, Michael Good.
Well, I think the biggest thing here is LaVille hasn't had really good field position defensively yet in this game. This is an opportunity for them to punt it down there, get a good coverage, and actually pin North Judson.
Well, remember, the only other time that Michael Good punted in this game, it was blocked. So let's see if North Judson brings the heat here. There's a good snap, and Good with a good kick. Gabe Ellis backs up, drops the ball, and falls on it back at his 5. And now it's North Judson with the bad field position. And you'll get another look courtesy of the Redlow Group.
Wouldn't it be great to work for a company where their employees are the most valuable asset? Well, now's your chance because Rushcore is hiring. They have production positions available in a team-driven environment with excellent benefits that include medical, dental, and a 401k. Learn more about joining the Rushcore family and a $1,000 sign-on bonus. Visit rushcore.com. That's rushcore.com.
By the way, congratulations to the Edwardsburg Eddies. We'll see them next week. They blanked Otsego tonight 56-0 and won their 42nd straight Wolverine Conference game to set a record. So we'll see them against Chelsea next week. Chelsea ranked number 5 in Michigan. Edwardsburg ranked number 8. 1st and 10 from its own 5 for North Judson. Blue Jays keep it in the hands of Aldrich Harper, and he had nowhere to go. A loss of 2 on the play.
Looked like Neese came in there and made the stop. Good job by John coming in and breaking that play up. Looked like he kind of got fumbled up there a little bit on the fake handoff and got off balance a little bit before he went to the outside.
A.J. Bedock really messed that play up from the beginning, getting in and just stuffing the lineman. Will Hostrasser hoping his defense can come up with a big play right here on 2nd and 11.
You want to be very aggressive on this, but yet you don't want to over pursue and make sure you stay on players.
And Bedock with the tackle that time, along with help from Mason Stepp. So they throw down Cheyenne Allen after a pickup of 5.
For over 30 years, St. Andrew Products has set the standard for apparel, business gifts, and promotional items. We support great charities like Folds of Honor and the American Dunes Golf Course in Grand Haven, Michigan, and we can help your cause as well. Contact us at sales@standrewscorp.com. At St. Andrews, your expectations become our standards.
Northridge defeats Plymouth tonight by a count of 49-0. Harper pitches out, and Allen gets tripped up in the backfield. What a play by Ross Wagner, who has had himself a heck of a second half. That's a loss of 3 on the play. You'll get another look from Redlow Group.
Great job of getting in there, catching the ankles, just barely fell down, catch ankles, loss of 2. Knocked them back a little bit farther, have to punt out of their own end zone at this point.
Quentin Frazier will have to watch his footwork back there. He's still a couple yards away from the goal line. Owen Smith is the deep man at the 40-yard line. Frazier gets it out of there, a high hanger that Smith will field at the 41. And Smith trying to juke his way away from all the white jerseys, can't do it. As North Judson able to bring him down to the 38, but this is the best field position LaVille has had in quite some time.
Yeah, best field position, and as we talked, no scoring in this second half. Looks like LaVille might go down here with a great field position with just under 8 minutes to go and score and send this thing to overtime. Because we always like to have some extra play in great games like this.
7:55 left in this one. Remember, last year's game went to overtime, and North Judson won it 10-9. Colin Zarnecki, the backup quarterback, in the game. And flags thrown and whistles blown, and it looks like a false start probably against LaVille.
Imagineering Finishing Technologies is a proud supporter of high school athletics. Teamwork is our specialty, working with industry giants like SpaceX and Boeing. For over 60 years, excellence has been our standard, and that won't change. Like the teams in this game, we're always working toward a great finish.
LaVille had 12 men on the field. That'll cost them 5 yards and make it 1st and 15. Great idea if you can get away with it.
1st and 15.
But that was not the case with this veteran crew out on the field officiating.
Yeah, it's one thing you can't have. You have great field position. You can't have those mental mistakes like that. Have 12 men on the field. Know your position, and when you're in the huddle, if you got 2 people in your spot.
So they'll give it to Paul DeWitt, and he can't shake the tacklers, brought down for a loss of 2. Logan Radke, a junior all-state player, 3-sport athlete, swimming and golf, and he got in the backfield to disrupt things.
It'll be interesting what Begonia would do here with a new quarterback in there if he's able to stick with his game plan and open up the playbook when he has to in certain situations, being down a score.
Owen Smith checks back into the game, as does Cody Allen. So 2 of their better receivers. And let's see if LaVille decides to air it out here. 2nd and 16, clock starting to become a factor if you don't score on this possession. Zarnecki with time, loads up, throws deep, intercepted. It is taken down by North Judson. And working his way back up, it's Cole Wilcox with his 3rd interception of the season. Wilcox brings it back to the 39-yard line as Zarnecki just heaved it out there, and it wasn't anywhere close to a black jersey. North Judson takes over at its own 39, 6:59 between the Jays and victory on 46. And this edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you in part by Imagineering Finishing Technologies, IFT, where quality is a way of life. IFT does great finishing. We'll see if North Judson can as well. The handoff from Aldrich Harper, and it'll go to Benson, and Brock Benson only able to pick up about a yard on the carry.
Bailey's Discount Center is proud to support the Blue Jays. From general merchandise to furniture and flooring, Bailey's Discount Center is America's bargain capital with over 5 acres of amazing bargains, all under one roof. Visit Bailey'sDiscountCenter.com.
Brett Lambert, the North Judson coach, told me earlier in the week, whoever wins the turnover battle wins the game. Right now, that's in favor of the Blue Jays, 2-1. 2nd and 9. Harper keeps it himself. Has room on the outside, but LaVille closes quickly. What a beautiful job of closing by Xavier Lefebvre, the 6-foot sophomore. Harper was able to pick up maybe 2 yards on the play, but that'll leave him with a 3rd and 7.
What a great defensive battle it's been this second half between these 2 teams. Just no give and take out of these 2 teams. Just a lot of fierce upfront battles going on the defensive fronts.
So 3rd and 7 from the 42. Charlie Adams reporting from the sideline that Lucas Plummer likely out for the game. LaVille won't officially comment on the injury, but Plummer's jersey is off and he's in a sling down on the sidelines. Harper wants to throw, backs up, fires, it's intercepted. Zarnecki, the quarterback, also gets the interception. Back to the 37, and the Lancers are back in business.
You can see the great basketball player Zarnecki be able to take that up just like a rebound, pull that down. Great pick, good turnover by the Lancers.
And to be honest, it helps Zarnecki's cause that Aldrich Harper stared down his receiver.
He did. The Point North Judson supports the Blue Jays. Have the best rated burger in Stark County or any of their great sandwiches, sides, and drinks. Don't forget ice cream. They got soft serve, hand dipped milkshakes, malts, and more. Only at the Point Drive-In.
You saw the heartbreak for Lucas Plummer having to sit the rest of this one out. Paul DeWitt and the Lancers trying to pick up their teammate, but DeWitt unable to get anywhere as Quentin Frazier continues to make tackles for the defense.
It looks like Judson's really packing that line right now, just daring LaVille to throw with Zarnecki in there and Plummer out.
So if you're Justin Begonia, how do you respond to that?
I think a play that they need to go back to is that screen play that faltered, because the way how aggressive North Judson is, they will definitely come all in. That screen play will be set up.
Zarnecki will pitch it out here. Owen Smith has a convoy of blockers, puts the shoulder down and goes out of bounds. But let's see where they spot it. Mark McCammon says he stepped out at the 32.
Church of the Heartland of Stark County is cheering for the Blue Jays tonight and all season. Join Church of the Heartland at 11 a.m. on Sundays. You'll find a relaxed atmosphere, relevant teaching, and a powerful student ministry. Located on State Road 10, just 1 mile west of Highway 35.
3rd and 5, and obviously at this point of the game, you're in 4-down territory if you're LaVille. 4:38 to go. You see the clock, right-hand corner of the Intera Credit Union scoreboard. DeWitt back in the game at running back. Zarnecki in for the injured Lucas Plummer. It's DeWitt up the middle. DeWitt has room and he's off to the races.
They got a flag.
You could have a flag for taunting on that, I imagine. But I see no laundry on the field. Great job by the offensive line. Look at the downfield blocking. And no one laid a glove on Paul DeWitt. Remember, Lucas Plummer is also the kicker on this team. So with him out, it looks like Brandon Nettrower has come on to try the extra point. It'll be out of the hold of Owen Smith. This to tie the game at 21. Snap, set down, kick are all money. And with 4.5 to go, the Hoosier North title game is tied at 21.
We'll get a great Redlow group instant replay here. Just a great job blocking and fouling his blocks. I mean, just a good job of really coming through, fouling him, throws the hands up saying, where's everybody at? Because he did not get touched for that whole run.
And that touchdown sponsored by AM Home Services. Paul DeWitt with a big touchdown run of 33 yards. He's got 97 for the night. And all of a sudden, it got real interesting.
Oh, what an all-important extra point that was, sponsored by Betcher's U.S. Truck and Trailer. Just a great job of putting that through. And again, here, 4:30 to go. New Prairie still got, or North Judson still has 3 timeouts. LaVille's got 2. So we'll see what happens here on the kickoff and how good of a return they get and what North Judson does.
But you can't say enough about the work of Zarnecki and Brandon Nettrower coming in reserve roles and delivering in crucial moments today.
Yeah, just a great job. And, you know, Zarnecki, the ability to throw the interception and then come right back and make the interception was just huge. And that LaVille Lancer touchdown there and getting great field position.
Got to have a short memory if you're going to be a player. Nettrower's kickoff, sponsored by Betcher's U.S. Truck and Trailer. North Judson doesn't have anybody deeper than the 20-yard line. They don't think Nettrower is going to boom this one very deep. High spinner over on the sidelines, and it's fielded at the 10 by Cheyenne Allen. He'll try to run laterally, and he is brought down at about the 18-yard line. Allen may have had a case for letting that one go, but you're playing with fire either way.
Yeah, that right there, you got to try to catch that in the air, but he let it go. Went to grab it, but the ball might have went out of bounds, but if it doesn't, man, that's a big turnover.
By the way, LaVille has 2 timeouts left, and North Judson has 3. And we'll see how the strategy plays out, but certainly right now the momentum in LaVille's favor. First and 10 from the 18. Cheyenne Allen met at the line of scrimmage. He might have been able to get a yard. Mason Stepp and Jonathan Neese, and I'll tell you, Neese has played a whale of a game on defense.
Yeah, just a great job of filling the gaps at middle linebacker, coming up, not being afraid to lay the lumber. Just a good kid and a great job of coming up, especially the second half. The defense that LaVille's played in the second half has been phenomenal.
North Judson averages almost 300 yards a game on offense, rushing the football. And they only have about 100 yards rushing here tonight. 2nd and 8. Harper trying to scramble away, wants to throw, it's incomplete, and it was almost intercepted. Owen Smith got out there and got a hand on it. And remember, North Judson is going into the wind, and while the wind has died down a little, you keep watching the ribbons on the top of the goalpost. They're moving.
Kirstein's Cycle Center features Harley-Davidson motorcycles, apparel, and accessories, Yamaha dirt bikes and UTVs, and American landmark UTVs. Kirstein's is a little shop in the middle of nowhere where wonderful folks come from everywhere. Visit KirsteinCycle.com.
Harper fires, and it is incomplete. 4th down. Let's quickly go downstairs for a Bills Heating sideline report. Charlie Adams, North Judson about to punt. They're punting into what kind of wind right now?
I don't think it's that significant. You can see the red flags blowing a little bit, but the wind is nothing like it was in pregame and an hour before when we were getting ready. It has really settled down. I'm not near as cold as I was 2.5 hours ago. I don't even need gloves, and I don't think wind's a factor here.
All right, Charlie, thanks for the update.
Frozen.
High snap. Frazier hauled it down and got it out of there somehow. Fair catch called for by Smith at the 50. And now LaVille has 3:28 to try to push it on into the end zone, or maybe at least try a field goal at the end to try to win it. But special teams have been big tonight. And here's one of those plays that Quentin Frazier, look how close that was to being blocked.
Yeah, that was a great job by the Redlow Group on the replay. The Redlow Group is proud to support the Blue Jays athletics. Redlow is a group of local real estate experts that can help you buy and sell homes in your area. Visit redlowgroup.com.
21-all, 3:28 to go in regulation. Colin Zarnecki in for the injured Lucas Plummer at quarterback from the 49. They'll turn and hand it off to Paul DeWitt. And DeWitt staggers forward for about 2.
You know, they're going to definitely keep it on the ground here, take as much time off the clock as possible, try to get down there and score.
19 carries, 99 yards tonight for Paul DeWitt. Elkhart beat Mishawaka Marion tonight 35-0 over at Rice Field. Ramos and St. Louis's team now 7-1 on the year. They play New Prairie next week.
That ought to be a showdown next week for sure. 2 quality teams.
2nd and 7. Hand off to Witt. He gets to the outside. He's got a head of steam and a 1st down. Paul DeWitt with about a 10-yard run. And you get another look courtesy of the Redlow Group. Terrific blocking outside again by John Neese.
Yeah, just a great job by Neese sealing the corner there, but what a performance by DeWitt here in the 4th quarter, just having a huge 4th quarter with the big runs to pick up the 1st downs and the touchdown.
1st down from the 38. It's DeWitt again, trying to get up the middle, breaking tackles. He picks up about 3 before he's brought down there. Paul DeWitt, an outstanding wrestler here at LaVille High School. Terrific balance. And this is his 6th 100-yard game of the season. You see, we've just hit the 2-minute mark in this one. 2nd and 7 from the 35. Zarnecki now from the shotgun. DeWitt will take the handoff right side. He's got a head of steam, and he picks up 10. Another 1st down up to the 26-yard line. Redlow Group replay. Great blocking again on the outside. This time it was Cody Allen who delivered the block.
Looked like North Judson's calling a timeout to get this clock stopped at this point in juncture of the game.
They'll stop it with 1:44 remaining in this one.
It'd be interesting if this comes down to having to kick a field goal and whether or not LaVille's able to actually go for it on a field goal attempt.
I was impressed with Brandon Nettrower's extra point. I think he has plenty of leg. And in a tie ball game, I think if you're Will Hostrasser, Yeah, it depends where you are on the field, but I think I'd put my chance maybe on the leg of Nettrower rather than trying to make a 10-yard pass.
Yeah, and then is it him or is it Zarnecki? I know you haven't seen Zarnecki out there. His brother is a kicker at Indiana State, and he is out there, and I just was talking to his dad before the game and a couple other people, and supposedly he hit a 50-yarder the other day in practice. So,
well, it could be him.
Yep.
Will Hostrasser trying to get LaVille its first conference title since 1986. They've won a couple sectionals here. He was the IHSA Athletic Director of the Year in 2018. Done a remarkable job with this football program, winning 77 games in 10 seasons. 1st and 10 from the 26, a minute 44 to go. It's Paul DeWitt again off the right side. DeWitt bouncing off people. They try to strip him of the ball, but he won't go down, and he's finally stopped after a pickup of 8.
I think that's one of the biggest things you got to do at this point as a running back. You know you're going to be running the ball. You have to hang on to that ball. Don't fight for those extra yards with your hands. Just fight with your legs. Try not to put a stiff arm out there. Try not to gain any balance with your hands or anything like that. Keep both hands on that ball.
2nd and 3 from the 19. LaVille just trying to bleed the clock. Colin Zarnecki at quarterback. Do they go to DeWitt once again? Of course they do. That ball's not heavy. DeWitt down to the 15. He took a shot that time, but he gets the first down. Jacob Gebke really laid the lumber for North Judson.
Yeah, you can look at the replay here. Just a great cut right there as well. Getting away from that first defender so he did not get hit in the backfield. Big first down again for this Lancer team, taking the ball at the 15.5-yard line.
And it's one thing to rack up yardage. It's another thing to do it when everybody in the stadium knows you're going to get the ball. And that's the way it's been here. Now let's see if they try to center this one up. DeWitt is nearly pried away and then brought down after a pickup of 1. Will Hostrasser has timeouts to use, and he'll take one here. It's sponsored by Goodwill's XL Center. This has been a series of close games over the last 2 years. 2 years ago, North Judson came here to LaVille. LaVille had the Zarnecki kid who was a heralded kicker, but it was North Judson who got a field goal at the end of the game to win it 9-7. A year ago, it goes into overtime at Liberty Field, tied at 3, and North Judson wins it on an extra point by a foreign exchange kicker to take it 10-9. So, of course it's going to be a close game when these two get together. And this one has lived every minute up to the billing.
No, it definitely has. I think one of the biggest things when you're looking at, when you're coming down here is don't just settle for a field goal at this point either. Try to run it in. Don't just try to get in the center of the field. Try to score at this point, you know?
But in trying to score, you're not saying throw the ball.
No. When you're running the ball, have every effort to try to get across that goal line at this point.
You've got 2 plays to play with, and you've got 2 timeouts, or 1 timeout left if you're LaVille. Nobody next to Zarnecki, though, here. He will give it off. And DeWitt carries tacklers all the way down to the 7. He is close to the first down, but does not have it. But they are definitely not much deeper than an extra point here. And I think Will Hostrasser will decide to try to kick a field goal to win the game with 4 seconds left. What a final drive by the Lancers, just grinding it out with Paul DeWitt.
DeWitt just had a fourth quarter that you would dream about having in your life, and he's just done a great job. A senior, just what you want on senior night coming in here to have a fourth quarter like he's had.
So Brandon Nettrower comes onto the field. Nettrower has not been asked to kick a field goal this year. He is a 5'9", 170-pound junior who is a backup running back. Brett Lambert trying to get his special teams ready. You block it, you scoop and score, you can win the game.
A lot of things can happen here in the last 4 seconds of this game. More than likely the last play of the game.
And of course, it is a place kick by a high school student, so anything can happen. Owen Smith is the holder. He's got a very big job here too. They put the tee down at the 14-yard line, and it'll be a 24-yard attempt for Nettrower. Hudson Doyle, the snapper. And a timeout called by North Judson because Brett Lambert would like this young man to think about his life. So 4 seconds remaining in this one. 21-21. Hoosier North Athletic Conference title on the line. You couldn't have asked for much more.
No, I think that's one of the things why we were here, because we knew these were going to be two quality teams going at it. Not only on the offensive side, but the way these two teams play defense, especially in the second half. I think that's one of the things we looked at coming in this game was how is the scoring going to be and how is these two defenses going to hold up.
Remember, it was 21-14 at halftime, now tied at 21. And as the two teams get ready to break the huddle, the focus goes back to young Brandon Nettrower. Brett Lambert over on the other sideline has given his team its instructions. But if LaVille executes here, they win the ball game and their first conference title in 36 years. Everybody on their feet at Lancer Field. Smith checks with Nettrower, and again, Brett Lambert will take his last time out. And the LaVille fans boo, but if you were Brett Lambert, you'd do the same thing.
Yep. You got to do it. You got to take that time out. You got to put the pressure on the kicker, on the holder, on the snapper. There's a lot that can happen in this kick.
You were a place kicker in high school. What are the thoughts that are going through your head here as you get ready to attempt even an extra point, which this is not much deeper than an extra point?
Yeah, I think one of the things is that even playing Jimtown in the regional championship in overtime, I had to kick the extra point to go ahead. And I think one of the things is just relax and do what you've always been. You just focus down. You focus exactly what you're supposed to be doing. The snapper focuses on just snapping the ball. The holder catching it, setting it down. Nothing else in your mind. And as a kicker, all you're doing is just trying to do like every other day, every other kick, especially something like this, just a little bit more than an extra point. All you're looking to do is just have a nice little chip shot, put it up through the uprights, and not kick it too long.
Here's the ball game. Brandon Nettrower, snap, set down, kick, off the upright, no good. And we'll go to overtime at Lancer Field. It smacked the upright on the left-hand side, and it's 21-21 going to overtime, and North Judson has new life. Watch it again. He hooked it a little bit from the right, and it smacked right off the upright and refused to go through.
Wow. Wow. Don't want to say I called this going to overtime about 7 minutes ago in the game, but pretty sure that this was going to be exactly how this game would finish.
So to overtime we go, tied at 21. And the story of the thrill of victory and the agony, not of defeat, but of overtime. And we're back with it after this on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week brought to you in part by Crown Trophy. They're nationally known and locally owned. High school overtime has possessions at the 10-yard line. It's first and goal from the 10, and you got to try to pound it in. So it's very important to try to go on defense first. But let's go downstairs for a Bills Heating sideline report. Charlie Adams, you're on the LaVille sideline right now. How deflated is that group, and can they bounce back for this?
Great point, because they were so emotional. Their highs, they were just way up there. They anticipated it going through, and then there was this sudden depth charge of emotions, and the players even turned to the crowd and did this, like, let's all get back up, because now the momentum has shifted to the visitors, Chuck.
And indeed, I think this is a very important coin flip right here, Bo, because it basically dictates who goes on defense. And if you're on defense, that second possession, you understand what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, and you have the ability to not only match the other score, but if you go for two and they didn't, you have that ability as well.
And there you see the rules for overtime. So if we're tied after the first OT, the coin flip loser will get a choice of offense or defense for the second OT, and almost all the time, you take defense. So finally, the captains will go out to midfield. They've been instructed by their coaches as to what decision to make. And honestly, I think the officials actually check with the head coaches before they even parade the captains to midfield, so that there doesn't really have to be a whole lot of communication from the kids.
No, in this situation, I'm pretty sure this veteran crew has talked to both coaches, and they pretty much know that they're all going to pick defense if they win the flip.
So Rick Podell talking things over with the captains, explaining the rules of overtime. First and goal from the 10, and then you switch ends. And as Charlie mentioned earlier, the wind not as much of a factor right now, so if there were a big win, that might determine which end you want to pick. But at this point of the game, probably not that big a difference. What a ball game here at Lancer Field tonight. Glad you've joined us. Facebook, YouTube, and the IHSA Champions Network for those of you watching on the live stream and here on TV46.
Great crowds here tonight from both sides showing up. A lot of support from both these communities coming out here, supporting their clubs, knowing that what was at stake and what was on the line in tonight's game.
So we are all just waiting for a coin to be flipped in the air. Rick Podell now shows it to both sides. Culver beat Pioneer tonight, 28-8. That's a little bit of a stunner in this league. That is Culver's first win over Pioneer ever. So the flip has been made by Rick Podell, and it appears that LaVille won the toss.
The way he's talking, yep.
So now the decision by North Judson is strictly at which end that they want to go to, and it looks like they have decided that they want the wind at their back a little bit. Quentin Frazier is going to just take over down there and tell everybody else what they're going to do.
He had 1 point in one direction, 1 point the other direction, and then it was like, Frazier's like, no, we're going this way.
So here's the official announcement. LaVille has won the toss, and they have elected to play defense, and North Judson has elected to go forward down at the south end of Lancer Field. Been great sportsmanship on both sides in this one. I've seen a lot of guys helping each other up off the ground. Even out there at the captain's toss, just looked like both sides have a lot of respect for one another in a rivalry that really goes back to their middle school days.
Yeah, and we talked earlier in the fourth quarter when Plummer went down. How crucial is it now you're in overtime and you have a backup quarterback in there? Granted, Zarnecki's done a heck of a job. Very talented kid, but is the pressure going to get to this LaVille team if North Judson scores a touchdown first and goes up by 7?
Also in the Hoosier North tonight, Winnemac defeated Caston 33-12. Still looking for a score from the Knox-Triton game. But North Judson will have the ball. The clock no longer a factor, just the play clock is the thing that people have to worry about. And it'll be first and goal at the 10-yard line for the North Judson St. Pierre Blue Jays. Aldrich Harper leads his team out onto the field. Harper tonight has had a tough night throwing the football. He's 3 out of 9 with an interception for 68 yards. The running game has been, for the most part, stymied. Cheyenne Allen has 3 rushing touchdowns, but he only has 41 yards. It's Allen in motion. It's Benson, the fullback. No, they kept it on the ground, and what a hit out there by Owen Smith. Harper is mowed down right around a pickup of 1. He kept it, nearly lost it out of his own hands, and then Smith just tackled anybody in white.
I couldn't tell exactly what was going on. It looked like he was going to try to pitch it, but then he kind of almost was going back for the ball, and then we see it there on the Redlow group replay, and he just flat out lost the ball.
It's like the ball just ran up his arm on it. So 2nd and 9. Play clock down to 10. Allen, the tail of the tandem in the backfield, but it's crossbuck action here, and a pickup of 2 that time on the play, as it was Gabe Ellis on the carry.
Again, this Lancer defense just really stepping up in the second half, and here in overtime again, really coming to the plate and understanding what it takes to win a championship, and that's defense.
3rd and goal from the 7. Remember, North Judson's kicker, Quentin Frazier, has not tried a field goal this year and is only 19 of 29 on extra points. Harper getting his team up to the line of scrimmage in a hurry. Play clock at 7. Ellis in motion. Harper to throw over the middle, tipped away, incomplete. Xavier LaFave makes the tip. Here's another look from the Redlow group. And LaFave wanted the interception, but knocked it away from Cheyenne Allen. 4th down, and Quentin Frazier comes on to try a 25-yard field goal off the right hash. This would be his first field goal of the year. Snap, set down, kick, no good. And now LaVille wears momentum and has a chance to win it in overtime. And you have to feel as though Will Hostrasser is going to say, where's number 33 on my team? Because I got to get the ball in his hand.
Yeah, I think he just had such a fantastic duet. We're talking about 4th quarter, and they just need to feed him the ball, and that offensive line makes some big blocks. You got 4 plays to pick up 10 yards. I have a feeling they might go all 4 plays and try to punch it into the end zone, even if they're down by the 1-yard line.
Unofficially, I have Paul DeWitt for 27 carries, 147 yards tonight.
Telling you right now, once you get over that 20-22 mark in carries, it starts taking a toll on your body, but you just got to keep plugging away when you get out there.
So now the onus on North Judson's defense, hoping they can force a turnover.
Again, the last 2 series that Zarnecki ran, they had false starts both times to start the drive. See if they can get it going here to start this drive here in overtime.
Can't afford that on a 1st and goal. Handoff up the middle, that's Noah Richart. And Richart battles his way all the way up to the 5. Still on his feet, pushing in the rugby scrum. Touchdown, LaVille!
Wow! Determination.
And it's a madhouse at Lancer Field. Noah Richart, who squats 475, can lift anybody on the field right now wearing black and blue. You'll get another look from the Redlow group. They never brought him down.
You can see the legs still driving. That pile still moving, the push into the end zone. Just a great job by that Lancer offensive line driving into the end zone.
Noah Richart staggering his way to the handshake line, and we might get a chance to talk with him after this. Lancers win it in overtime, 27-21. Our St. Joe County Police Department postgame show is next on 46.
Yes. And here we are with Noah Richard. Tell us about that incredible play for the score. It went on forever.
Yeah, it did. You know, I give all the credit to my O-line. You know, I thought I was stifled there, but they got a great push on me at the end, and they kept driving their legs, and that's the reason I was able to score.
Have you ever had a play like that?
No, nothing quite like that before. As I said, that's all my O-line. I give them all the credit for that.
What about your team, the resiliency, the ups and downs? You lose your quarterback, you have the kick hit the post, and yet you win and you're conference champs.
You know, Coach always says we got to be resilient, just as you said, and that's exactly what we did, you know. We were down, and we continued to fight, and we came out with the W tonight.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
There you have it, Chuck. But what an incredible finish. That was like the Bush push times 10, but nobody was pushing him. Tell us about that incredible play for
Thanks for watching the WHME TV46 High School Football Game of the Week, brought to you by
The celebration is on in Lakeville. They're doing the gritty and every other dance that they can think of right now because there is something to party about. The LaVille Lancers have clinched their first conference title since 1986, winning in overtime 27-21. Welcome everybody upstairs to the Martin Supermarket broadcast booth. Chuck Freeby and Bo Hunt. If you plunked down your $6 tonight, you got your money's worth.
Well, what a fantastic game. And we knew coming here tonight these were going to be two offensive battle teams. But this second half, both these defense really stepped up, really came in full force in the second half with the adjustments they made at halftime. What better way to go to overtime and have a battle in overtime?
And who scores the game-winning touchdown? Noah Richart. And that gets him a ticket to talk with Charlie Adams as our player of the game.
And here we are with Noah Richart. Tell us about that incredible play for the score. It went on forever.
Yeah, it did. You know, I give all the credit to my O-line. You know, I thought I was stifled there, but they got a great push on me at the end, and they kept driving their legs, and that's the reason I was able to score.
Have you ever had a play like that?
No, nothing quite like that before. As I said, that's all my O-line. I give them all the credit for that.
What about your team, the resiliency, the ups and downs? You lose your quarterback, you have the kick hit the post, and yet you win and you're conference champs.
You know, Coach always says we got to be resilient, just as he said, and that's exactly what we did, you know. We were down, and we continued to fight, and we came out with the W tonight.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
There you have it, Chuck. But what an incredible finish. That was like the Bush push times 10, but nobody was pushing him.
Well, they were pushing and pulling and doing everything else they could to get Noah Richart to the end zone. And unlike the Bush push, the home team was happy with this one tonight. As guess what our electrifying play of the game is?
I don't know. I don't know if there was one tonight. Was there?
Well, how about this one for Electrical Workers Local 153? The game-winning touchdown in overtime. Looked like a simple 5-yard run, but it was the song that never ends. It just went on and on, my friends. And Noah Richart just kept driving the legs, and finally, all of a sudden, the body surge just sends him on into the end zone. Paul DeWitt was shoving as much as anybody there. DeWitt had a big night running the football, too.
Yeah, DeWitt had a fantastic second half. I think the fourth quarter especially, just the ability to really sustain the runs, up over 27, 28 runs on the night. Your body gets worn down at that time, and especially in the heat of a battle against a team like North Judson. Just a fantastic job by DeWitt.
And hey, look, if you're North Judson, this stings. There's no question about that. You fall to 7-1. But in the 1A tournament, I don't see anybody lining up saying, I want to face the Blue Jays.
No, not at all. And then I think that's one thing they got to take away from this is LaVille's a very quality opponent. They came in here, had the lead for most of the game in the second half as well. LaVille was able to pull it out. A lot of times you see when some team falters to win the game at the end of the game, they go to overtime. That team usually loses. LaVille was fortunate to come out on top tonight.
So now North Judson moves on, and LaVille does as well. They have the regular season wrap-up, and then just like everybody else, they're watching the tournament draw on Sunday, and LaVille's focus will be on an Andrean team that is one of the dominant teams in Class 2A in Indiana.
Yeah, you look at that, and a lot of people don't give LaVille any chance at all of winning that game, and they haven't even matched up and haven't even been scouted or anything like that, but they look at Andrean, their history, their success they had, and the 4 and the 5 and the 6A teams that they play year in and year out.
But that's a problem 2 weeks down the road for the Lancers. Tonight is a time to celebrate. They finally broken through and won their first conference title in 36 years. Our thanks to our TV46 production crew, led by the birthday boy, the 60-year-old Dean Korsmo, and our talented crew, Tony Beltran, the bubbly one, moving all the dials tonight. Tom Ward, Ryan Fitzpatrick, Darren Gray on audio. You see the names pop up here. Reminder that IHSA tournament draw is Sunday on IHSA TV at 5. Next Friday night, high school football for you from the state of Michigan. Number 5, Chelsea faces number 8, Edwardsburg in a top 10 showdown. And don't forget to follow us on social media. We're on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at 46 Sports. Now for my broadcast partners, Charlie Adams and the Hall of Famer Bo Hunt, it's Chuck Freeby. Once again, the final. LaVille 27, North Judson 21 in overtime. So long from La Paz.